What is up? We are streaming something new for our High Point University basketball season here, live on X and YouTube as we take part in High Point's game at UNC Asheville. Matinee here for our Panthers team taking on UNC Asheville. Streaming from my office for this game and going to see how this goes. Right now, early in the game, I'm kind of jumping in here late. 3-2 start for our Panthers, but questionable offensive foul that was just called. But excited to do this. And I'm going to actually, while we're doing this, get a link sent out for those that may want to join the stream. But if you're on YouTube, you can also comment, and the comments will actually show up on the stream, just like that right there.
It was probably legal until Keno brings the arm down. That was a very nice work of art there. Now, first free throws.
Let's see if I can get this link sent out to others.
University hits it. 5-3 Bulldogs. Now High Point, last time down here, turned the ball over. Panthers trying to answer, got it in the hands of number.
I'll say a Caden Miller entry into the game this early. That's an and one. But a Caden Miller entry into the game this early, a little bit of a surprise. Although I've said time and time again that I feel like he can come in and fill good roles. Braden Hassan, man, I can't say enough good things about him. Should have made that free throw, though. Get this up on X while we're going. This dude's trying to pull out a 6-7 joke this early. Well, there it is. For those that care. Good take. Going to be hard-pressed to find somebody that can stay in front of Rob Martin.
Fantastic movie with your love. Here's Patrick trying to get screen set, drive to the right side, underneath, nice layup and in, nice little kiss off the glass from number 18, J. Patrick. Back and forth we go. 3 minutes in here on the first. High Point trying to set up a screen. Martin, they kick it out. Pump fake on the three. And number 15, Housen. Housen's trapped underneath, gets it out to Washington. Washington driving the baseline. He gets back out to Housen. Here comes Anderson. Shot clock down to 5. And a whistle and a foul.
So
4 seconds left on the shot clock. Your starting lineup again for the Bulldogs. Right.
Both teams out offensively. I think a big difference is going to be who wins on the defensive end of the floor. And High Point has been a team that worked hard at that all offseason. That's a good pass from Braden to Caden. Man, that was a great play. But High Point has worked so hard on the defensive end. We got to see some fruits of that labor like we have many times during the non-conference in a game like this today. You're on the road. You're playing a team that is very good offensively. So I'd like to see us force some steals, get some defensive stops, just like the one we just had with 16-15 left to go, 10-9 game. I'm going to also share this stream link in another spot here.
What kind of identity you want to be, and thinking about a conference like you need to figure that out pretty quick.
I think they're starting to pinpoint it. I think that they are a very athletic team. I think they're a team that rebounds very, very well. If they can sort of
So we've got both Vincent and Caden in early.
Oh, picked off, and there's one way to remedy
It's a bad mistake by Conrad.
Solomon left side.
You won't see that happen often.
From Patrick, and Solomon, nice right-hander, doesn't fall in, and it's juggled out of bounds again. Back to High Point.
So first media, 10-9 start. Like I said, I was a little late hopping on here, and thanks for those that are joining this stream. A new thing that I thought I would try and see if I'm into it for some of these road games that I'm unable to attend as a High Point follower during the intermissions here. We'll mute that. But I am, like I said, nervous a little bit about this game. If you followed us on Proud Sports with the Panthers podcast that we do, and you've heard me talking about this game, it's not one that I was really looking forward to, in the sense that if you are jumping into conference play, well, there's other opponents I would have liked to have seen first. Gardner-Webb would probably be first up on that list. But even still, you know, I just know that UNC Asheville over the past 2 seasons especially has given us such a tough fight that starting with them on the road, it is New Year's Eve, just a little bit of extra there involved in this game. And I know that it's going to be, like I said, offensively back and forth. Defensively, the desire for me would be to see us flex what we've been able to at times in steals, fast break opportunities, turnovers. Right now, we're the one losing that battle. 3 turnovers for our High Point team. And probably why you could say Caden was in early, because Owen had 2 turnovers already in just limited time. 2 steals for UNC Asheville. And so, like I said, right now we're on the opposite side of where we need to be. We're back from that media timeout.
High Point with the ball with the lead here, 10-9. High Point themselves also coming off a tournament appearance from last season. A whistle from the far side official. Looks like some jockeying for position.
Also, point of interest for me, officiating during Big South play. It's a day like today where I just got done watching NC State play Wake, so an ACC matchup there. I know later I'm going to try to watch UConn play Xavier. You know, you got some really good games now. That conference play is on the map that calls these officials. I won't say calls them. They probably are in higher demand, honestly. So the Big South crews that we get oftentimes are just whistle happy, really get themselves involved in the game when really they're just supposed to be there to facilitate things. Here's another interesting little thing. We're on the road today, and our staff looks like they're sporting the full suit attire for this one. So far this season, Coach Clayman had kind of kept up the same thing we had in years past under Huss, and that was when we go on the road, it's more of like a leisure sport wear outfit, if that matters. And then, you know, at home games, they would have the full suit attire on. Well, today it looks like they're repped out in the full suits. And maybe they knew that Morrell's staff would be more in that leisure look, and they didn't want to replicate that. I don't know how they come up with these decisions. I'll have to ask. Depending on the outcome of this game, I'll ask. If you're streaming with us, don't forget you can post comments on YouTube, and we'll get those posted up here if you don't want to take part in jumping on live with us.
Underneath here for Asheville, and a nice drop for number 44, Sage Tolentino.
So far, Toyaz Solomon, haven't heard anything hardly from him. I know he does have a couple points early. And Owen on the bench is, like I said, a little bit of an early happening. There's Solomon with a foul. That's good. Get him one on an offensive illegal screen. As many as we can have him pick up in minutes and positions that don't matter is good news.
14-11. Conrad with it for the Panthers. High Point trying to stretch the lead out a little bit. Trapped on the
See, that's just a bad position to be in. That turnover right there is unnecessary and should never happen. Conrad dribbled his way into the lane, got so far tucked underneath the basket that he has no choice of anywhere to go with the ball. And you panic, and he just throws it away. And we've seen a couple of positions in game, in half scenarios that have to be cleaned up and stuff like that, that just, it's a head scratcher sometimes. I don't understand that play. Conrad has been so consistent throughout the majority of this season, honestly. And so far, I'd count 2 times early here in this game where just bonehead turnovers. Good block, Caden. That is such a great play that if Caden can get more and more time under his belt, I think we'll see more often. Because earlier in the season, when he had opportunities like this to spell somebody, you could tell that he just did not feel comfortable kind of playing in slow-mo to get to where he was trying to get to on both ends of the floor. And that play right there was just pure athleticism. But see, then you get whistles like this in the Big South. I mean, that's an unnecessary whistle.
Kind of hear a sigh of collective relief in the arena after back-to-back foul calls go against the Bulldogs.
There's been 9 fouls in the first 6 minutes of this game.
As the announcers just said, 9 fouls in just 6 minutes of play. That's Big South.
Conrad juggles it, and right back to the Bulldogs he goes.
This is not a typical performance in that they have 5 turnovers in the opening 6.5 minutes. Asheville, the only turnover they had was on
collecting my thoughts before I just rage comment here. What is Conrad currently doing in this game? I don't exactly understand. There's been 2 costly turnovers directly associated with him handling the ball and just throwing it away. And now he was on a pretty easy receiving end of a pass from Cam, and just the ball went out of bounds like he just whiffed. That was good defense. Possessions like that, if we're forcing shot clock violations or we're getting turnovers, that is the type of defense DNA that honestly I want to see us continue to flex. Now, Conrad has been removed from the lineup. Rob back in at the main handling spot. I think they brought in Scotty Washington. So we'll see how that fares a little bit. And the press for the Bulldogs here, just trying to keep things honest, it looks like. But I'm a Conrad guy. I think he's been very consistent, very good in large swaths of the season. But so far for the start of this game, just very strange play from somebody that's usually a good, careful ball handler.
Clark came over to help, kind of got caught in no man's land, ended up screening off.
Good motion, though, by the number 3, Rob Martin there. 16-11. Taylor had it for the Bulldogs. Bulldogs Needing an answer here. That's the right side. Pick up number 5 and over the basket too much. But
So now a couple early fouls on Caden. And on that possession there defensively, I'm not sure why Vincent didn't help more. Now you have a 3-point shooter off on the wing, but you see Vince there on a replay just kind of swipes non-existent as opposed to sliding over and helping with the body to eliminate that drive opportunity. That's probably a bit of a couple of guys, Caden, Vince, that haven't played tons of time together. And by them not spending tons of time together, remember these lineup changes, the depth benefits us in a lot of ways, but at times, if you don't have a rapport with others, it can create questions like that, especially on the defensive end a lot of times, because you're expecting your teammates to do something that maybe they don't do. That's a bad turnover from Vince. The amount of turnovers self-inflicted right now is not good for a team that offensively can be very explosive. And that's a rebound you got to have. Scotty 2 games ago against Bryant, I felt like was pouncing for loose balls, and I actually questioned him on that after the game, that he had gotten a defensive board and kind of was vocal about it. Well, there, he just watched the ball bounce over his head. He pays it off on the offensive end, though, so that's good to see. But, man, you got to have a team rebounding effort here. You can't just stand and be in a upright position, not even trying to box out and just watch the ball bounce over your head.
Trying to drive in from the right side. Shot clock already down to 10. Now they pick up Thomas here and whistle and get another foul.
Yeah, just the amount of foul calls in these Big South games are gonna, my blood inside the Cobain Center would be curdling right now, because it just, they're whistles oftentimes that are absolutely unnecessary parts. I go back to that little swipe that Vince did. They did call a foul there. I don't think they gave it to Vince. I think they charged it to Caden. I'll have to look and see. But just like a little swipe like that, just because the motion appears to be something that would look like a foul, these Big South guys immediately want to interject themselves into a game, whereas, like, some more polished officials of college basketball probably would let play just continue, unless it was a direct effect. You see these opportunities where, okay, a player misses a shot and now the whistle comes in. Those guys are usually kind of veteran officials, honestly, and it's frustrating to see that type of whistle, because it's like they waited for the outcome before they made the call. But honestly, sometimes I would prefer that than just the quick Big South whistle where it's like, oh, that looked like a foul, so I got to interject myself into the game and create this a 1-and-1 shooting affair with 12 minutes left and a half. I mean, that's craziness. Right now, high point for our team, you got to be talking about protect the ball in this huddle, because we've got 6 early turnovers, and I would say 90% of those, since I've been watching here, and like I said, I jumped the stream a little late, so I think I missed a couple early ones from Owen, but 90% of these turnovers that I'm seeing are just self-inflicted. Vince making a pass that was supposed to be like a skip pass under the basket, just threw it right to the UNC Asheville defender. Caden 3 times, 2 that were just dribbled into positions on the court that I don't know what he was thinking, far underneath the basket, and has to scramble to try to make something of nothing, turns the ball over. One from Cam that was just a simple pass that dribbled out of bounds. I mean, it's crazy stuff that, man, right now you got to be talking protect the ball. So we got Yusuf first sighting into the game now.
Three ball on the way from Washington.
Wow.
Hits it.
It's a big shot from Scotty.
Got to stop the shooter. You've got to close the difference, close the space. That's not something Asheville did on that possession.
Scotty Washington, so far, breakout player here in this first half. Well, we had a lot of fouls, so somebody's got to step up. So far, that looks to be Washington here for High Point. They're going to lead by 7. Here comes Wright. Trying to spear his way down the middle. And
Good defense by Rob. That was good defense.
coming up.
I don't know about that call. That was really good defense by Rob. Tough shot by Wright to hit. But let's see this replay. I just don't know about that. Again, that is Wright does fall backwards, but yeah, and you'll see Coach Clayman here kind of having a word. The bucket went in, unnecessary whistles from Big South officials. 3/4 of the time, they're desperate to try to get themselves involved. It's like this is their show moment. They gotta make a big part of it. Braden from 3, he got hit. That is a hit arm.
Out of bounds. They're going to call Miles Mayfield out of bounds. They're going to call a hold on that.
Yeah, I mean, right now, the whistles both directions are crazy talk.
Patrick can't believe it. He's definitely on the bench for the rest of the half.
I mean, I just don't know what to say about any of that because Braden is the one that actually got fouled on a shot from 3-point range. And then I looked like a pretty good box out on Yusuf that they just whistled. So right now the whistles are going the wrong way for both teams. And that's Big South officiating right there for you. That was a foul there. And then they call it travel. Oh, that's something, man. For those that haven't followed my story very long, I desired at one time to be a college basketball coach, right? But I'll tell you, I would have so many technicals because, and like I've said, large parts in the Big South, the officiating is so far off base that I would never be able to control my emotions. Good pass to Yusuf. Finish that off. Yeah, there you go. Braden, 2 really good passes early here. One they made to Caden Miller earlier, and now that one to Yusuf. And for those that haven't heard me say this or may not know, Braden was a point guard in high school. So a lot of times the headiness of his game is finding other people. I mean, he's got a pure 3-point shot, and we saw him in a couple of times against Bryant do some things like, we got a wedgie. Wedgie alert. During this time, I really would love to see them just stand around and wait for an official to get up and get that taken care of. Terry, I think, did the honors. But what I was saying is Braden against Bryant had a couple of times where he was like spin moving into the lane for a lay-in and some really good athletic stuff that he's brought into his repertoire this season. But a couple of passes there, good take by Rob, should have been a foul, and they did call it.
14 fouls in the opening 12 minutes, and we still, 11 minutes and change.
Not sure these commentators, but they just said 14 fouls so far. Welcome to Big South play, where your collection of officials are doing AAU and high school games until they are desperately needed during times of the year where league play starts.
And good on both of them.
The top 100, according to Ken Palm and Net, team in the country in High Point.
And picked.
I haven't really seen anything from UNC Asheville's offense that has been
Number 3, that's right. You're right. There's a second.
honestly has shown a lot. I haven't seen much ball movement. It's like they try to stand around and wait for some kind of set to develop. And maybe that is because of our metrics on playing so fast paced and pushing the ball and making turnovers into buckets on the other end. Maybe that's the strategy from Coach Morrell here, is we're just going to slow things down and run something and take late shot clock choices. But I mean, so far I haven't really seen anything from UNC Asheville that is that impressive on the offensive end. We've made a mess of it because either a foul's been called or we've turned the ball over. So that's why, hence the closer 6-point score right now. Looks like Asheville's dropped into a little bit of a zone. We've seen several teams try this against us.
Nervous moments for Asheville as Solomon, their breaths held.
Did they give that to Solomon?
Colin, I think it's Thomas on the arm. Yeah, that's who they got. They got Thomas.
Okay, they didn't give it to Solomon. That would have been another huge swing in the foul department.
And Thomas had just checked into the game with 8:36 to go, taking the place, trying to give Julian Clark a breather. Second one's up. It is also no good.
Free throws.
So Wright will bring it into half court.
Those will come back to hurt later.
Teams start converting some of these turnovers. They just really need points, establish some good rhythm here. Good drive coming here from number 3, Cameron Taylor. Kicks it back out to Wright.
So we got another late shot in the shot clock. Got to have that rebound though, and that right there is what will frustrate and drive you insane. You play defense for 30 seconds. They take and we were fortunate here that it bounced out, and we're gonna get a ball that, like I said, should have been handled better by UNC Asheville there. But man, that will drive me personally insane, where you defend for 30 seconds. Good, solid defense. Make them take a questionable shot with less than 5 seconds to go on the shot clock. And then, we can't get, we can't get the rebounds. That's frustrating. If you're joining our stream, appreciate it. This is, like I said, something new that I thought I'd give a try. It is New Year's Eve, so I'm hanging out. Was planning just to watch this game anyways, and thought we'd try it and see if people are interested. If not, if you are on the stream, feel free to, on YouTube. I don't know if you can do it on X. I think I'm wrong to say that you can. If you're watching on YouTube, you can post comments on YouTube and they'll show up here on the stream. On X, you can just shoot me a message at Stephen Beck PS, and I'll be happy to include your thoughts that way. But man, so far, I would say this is pretty run-of-the-mill Big South basketball. You got officials that are heavily involved, where ordinarily a more veteran crew might let some of this stuff play on because it's whistles that are unnecessary. And turnovers on our end for High Point. At this under 8 media, score is 25-19, but our turnovers, we've kind of paused from the rate that we were on, but now we have 7. I think last time I checked, it was 6 turnovers. So at least we're working in the right direction. Excuse me. Shooting really well. 82% right now as a team. Meanwhile, UNC Asheville, 37. So why are they hanging around? Why are they only 6 points down? Those two things I already said. Fouls, making this game stop every 5 seconds. For that, that's going to keep it close. And the other is self-inflicted stuff, not getting rebounds when you've already defended the shot clock and turning the ball over.
Three players with 2 fouls for High Point. Aquino, Miller, and Martin. And DJ Patrick has 3 for the Bulldogs right now. 7:25 to go.
Conrad's back in. I'd really like to hope. That's a good shot, Cam. That Conrad has had some time to really slow and calm himself down maybe a little bit early, just out of ordinary ways of handling the ball and turning it over and not catching it. I mean, just crazy stuff. Not characteristic for him at all.
Looking down the baseline. Here comes Solomon. Can't get the ball to get up, but
now we got Yusuf giving his couple of fouls.
So you're going to beat the 3-2 zone look from High Point is cutting. Dribble into the foul line. Look for the back cut. Wasn't straight up and down. It was the right call.
And that was actually to number 13.
Honestly, for a New Year's Eve game, I know it's not like a legal or holiday official type deal here, but I would have expected better attendance.
46% free throw shooting percentage on the season. It's the second one to go. 28-20. 6:50 to go in this first half of play. Conrad with it for the Panthers. Handed off. Anderson picks it up.
Need Terry to get going a little bit. That's a good start right there. That should be a foul, and it was.
As soon as that spin happened, Thomas was behind the shoulder. He was either going to close and make contact, or he's going to let him go for that layup. So that spin gets past the shoulder.
Man, as you just watch, if you've been a High Point fan and followed the team as long as Terry's been here last season and now, the transformation between 2 seasons is dramatic. I've heard people say that watching him play last year was kind of like, I don't know, I can't remember. It's like he was on skates almost, like just like he was a newborn baby trying to walk at times. And now
that's just Fletcher's first.
Now Terry, the way that he plays is under control, very skilled. Not a lot of people can stay with him, but the passion, man. I don't know that anybody on High Point's team wants to win as bad as that dude.
Good on the first one. Taylor 72% on the free throw percentage for the year. Best is Justin Wright at just south of 80. Good on both. So actually able to chip away a little bit. 30-22, 6:24 left to go in the first half. And Panthers back with the ball. Conrad will take point. Hand off to Anderson. Now they work over to Brady, who's checked back in, and another whistle. And they're going to call another Bulldog.
For my parlay I put together today, it's already over for those that missed it. I had Wake plus 9.5. Really felt like the first ACC game under Will Wade would have been closer, and it was for a good portion of the game, and then State did kind of get away late. Other than that, I had USC Upstate minus 1.5 favored in their game, and right now they're leading 28-27 over Radford. It looks like I had Charleston Southern minus 12.5, but they're losing against Gardner Webb 31-20. So Gardner Webb, man, I'm telling you, it's like doesn't matter once you get into league play sometimes with these matchups. And then later At 3, Winthrop plays Longwood, and I had the under in that game, which is total 161.5 points. But that one's over, so I won't keep an eye on that as much anymore. Another shot clock violation, which speaks to solid defense on our side. Again, though, could be a strategy for the Bulldogs. I offensively, I just don't really see much from UNC Asheville yet in this game for a team and a coach that generally is very explosive on the offensive side. It's almost like they're playing a completely different style, taking longer possessions, running more sets. Cam, another 3. If he can stay like that hot, then danger time.
Fletcher coming in 36% on threes for the season so far, but High Point's 12-3 for a reason. There's a nice fade away from right at the line. It's in and out, no good. Picked up by Fletcher. He goes long down to Conrad. Hand off to Brady. He puts up a 3, and that's no good. Now picked up by the Bulldogs. Taylor's got it. Trying to make a drive from the right side, and out of bounds.
It's good defense. Transition D after a transition opportunity.
Taylor is wondering why.
Other things to watch for me. Chase
He swears that, he's right.
Still hasn't had minutes in this game yet, which is kind of interesting considering there's a few guys in foul trouble.
You make the call.
Well, they don't give me a whistle, so I won't.
So High Point back with it, up 13, now under 5 to play until halftime. Here's Fletcher. Starting to get hot at the right time here for the Panthers. Nice fadeaway 2 down the middle. It's short, no good. And picked up by the Bulldogs. They need.
If it's not Solomon.
It was a good physical job by Taylor defensively.
Taylor outmaneuvering 3 defenders, picked up by.
Yeah, I mean, if it's not Solomon right now for UNC Asheville, I'm just not seeing it. Now, right here is another perfect opportunity on this possession. We stopped the initial shot. Terry, not in bad position, but just got beat there. I don't know where the foul really was. I'm not seeing that, of course, as expected. But if we could get the rebounds on the one-shot wonder right now that UNC Asheville's putting up, then this 13-point lead would be a lot larger. Fouls, again, keeping it tighter than it really needs to be.
Good on the second one, so it'll be 35-23. High Point going for the long pass.
It's a good pass to Terry. Yeah, he'll finish that off. Great play there.
Gets the finish. Terry Anderson.
Anderson saw the aggressive closeout coming and decided, I'm going to take this myself.
There's a nice put up, but it doesn't.
All right, go.
Taylor,
Into transition.
Panthers might have a 2-on-1.
Terry again. It's a good play. Hustle back.
From Miles Mayfield. And one-handed slam at the other end. An excellent response from Cameron Taylor.
Asheville getting out in transition when they are able to do that.
Alvin hands it off. Fletcher for 3. That's in and out. No good.
So unfortunate. It's a good shot by Cam right there. I'd take it.
Very open. Now with 3:30 left to go in the first half. Bulldogs starting to see a little bit of momentum back, see if they can keep it going. Solomon able to pick it up now. Nice spin move. Nice right-hander. Can't get it to go, but pick up the foul. And we will take timeout with them. 37-25. High Point leads
22 fouls called in the first half of this game. Welcome to Big South. Mountain South Madness in Asheville right now, the second favorite home to the Big South Conference. Let's go take a look while we're at a media timeout. So those turnovers that were creeping on us, fortunately, we put an end to those uncharacteristic mistakes. The rebounds now is the part where you got to kind of start eyeing and considering. But ultimately, all I'm seeing from UNC Asheville is just getting a favorable whistle at times because they really don't have anything remarkable that they're doing on offense. Honestly, I'm not seeing a lot from them. I mean, I know Solomon is a very good, wiry, athletic style player. Right now, we've held him to 4 points. Cameron Taylor is their leading scorer with 7. He's the one that just had that breakaway dunk, but that's on 2 of 7 shooting. It's really coming at the free throw line. And credit UNC Asheville, a couple of their shooters from the free throw line, Taylor and Justin Wright, both 100%, 3 of 3. So the story right now, first half for this team is we got to limit our own self-inflicted turnovers, which we've started to do. One and done stops on the defensive end, and this lead would grow. That's it. The fouls are going to happen. I mean, these officials, nothing's going to change. This is going to be every night in Big South play, because once we get to league play, a Jerry Heater or a Lee Cassell or man, who did we have here recently? Just guys that, like, we haven't had Roger Ayers yet. That would be crazy out of nowhere. But those type of officials, they're in high demand. They're gone. Now we get Bill Schmuckley, who officials at your local high school during the week, and then we got such the games happening across the country that these guys get fished out, and all of a sudden they act like they've got to be in the game so deep that everything's a whistle. And it's crazy.
On the bench right now. Just a reminder, fouls an issue for both teams in this first half.
Solomon on the floor with 2 fouls.
So we're up 11. I would take that going into halftime, first game on the road in the Big South. But I also partially feel like, given what I've seen of UNC Asheville, that's kind of a bit of a concern, because they're, like I said, they haven't really done anything that has been done that well. They're shooting 17% from 3 and 35% from the floor. If they're hanging around the 10-point mark, given those shooting lapses, that doesn't bode well for us. So I'd really like to see us extend this lead some. Like I said, I would take it, but again, considering what UNC Asheville's done, we got to expand this some.
Panthers there underneath, kicks it to Solomon for 3. That's good. Timeout.
10-point game.
Called here by Coach Farrell, it looks like.
Yeah, you got one that you're going to lose, so why not use it?
Yeah, you can't take it. That is true. You can't take it with them. So 39-29, big 3 there by Solomon.
If Asheville can get this down into the single digits, I think they'll feel very confident. Hey, we're being really secure with the ball. We're doing a lot of the right things. We get some of our players back off the bench. We've just got to be a little bit smarter defensively. But Solomon, even with the closeout, look, lines up, spot up.
Yeah, so I'm a part of a chat group where they have the officials listed here. I know it's on ESPN as well. Normally I look, I have not, because I'm not in Asheville to run my mouth at them. That's normally the time I look up their names. But we've got Kendall Pike, Chase Furlow, and Matthew Lagonk. I'm gonna say, yeah, these guys. Got a question here. Is Aquino on the bench? And he is on the bench here. He got 2 early fouls, 2 early turnovers that really just planted him over there beside the staff. I don't mind that. We don't want him to get a chippy third foul if he doesn't have to. And now, honestly, Yusuf is racking up the minutes because Caden Miller also has 2 fouls. So good to have the depth. And Yusuf and Caden both against Pfeiffer, I felt like filled in admirably. Yusuf, again, hasn't done anything in this half that I feel like isn't what we need him to do. Get some rebounds, be sound and fundamental on both ends where you need to be positionally, and just be out there and hustle and let the cog, be a cog in the wheel. Let the rest of it do its thing. Scotty right now, and see, that's an awful call. The guy had 0 position there, yet because it looks like he flailed backwards to be like a big push off. Yeah, the official feels like, okay, I got to have my show here and really, I mean, those, you know how that gets these dudes off. You get to do an offensive foul motion.
Taylor going to check back in here for the Bulldogs. Down 11, needing to get something on the board to get it down to those single digits. Under 2 to play. Solomon's got it left wing. Flings it back out to right. Shot clock down to 10. Got to get some motion here, right? Trying to work left side. Shot clock down to 5 now, right? Back up to Solomon. Flings a 3 up and no good. The rebound does go back to the Bulldogs. It's still loose. Picked up by High Point. Maybe a 3-on-2 here. Washington from the right side against Taylor. Puts it up.
Good take, Scotty. These announcers, I'll give them some credit. I haven't really, although I haven't been listening to everything they say. They keep, obviously they're a hometown crew here, but they keep encouraging UNC Asheville to give some type of motion on their offensive end. And that's what I said at the start. I don't see them doing a ton. Like, they're just kind of standing around, running the clock down. I mean, they're inside of 10 seconds again. They keep working themselves into this offensive flow where they got to throw something up. We get the turnover and we force it in transition, up 13 now. But man, like I said, I have seen Mike Morrell's offense run very efficiently, creating lots of open looks and opportunities. Now, in years past, they've probably had a little bit more of an inside-out game where they at least have a sharpshooter that, they can space the floor a little bit better with, and they've had inside guys that, make serious difference. Last year, Jordan Marsh, you just let him go to work, and he's going to make up for a lot of things. But with this team, I don't really know what they're trying to accomplish other than, like I said, if that's strategy and they're just trying to play the long game and keep it slow and keep the score low. I don't know that's doing them any favors, though. Now, we will get a possession here at the end of this half, and I'd really love to see us execute it no matter what happens here on the defensive end. You don't want that to happen right there as a 3, but now we've got a possession here. We take a timeout. We're up 12, 27 seconds. We're going to draw something up here. Coach Clayman has something here that he is going to write up. We're bringing Vincent in. I'm not sure what that would allude to and who he's coming in for here per se, other than maybe Yusuf, if you don't want to run something with the big man on the floor, get an extra ball handler on there. But with 27 seconds, I mean, this is a moment where we've got to show some type of improvement. There's been many times we've had this same exact opportunity and been in the same exact position where we don't take advantage. We either get some crazy thrown up shot or it's been a turnover. Can't have that right here.
In the first half, 13 for High Point, 25 first half fouls. It's been a bit disjointed.
I'm sure that'll be some talking points in the locker rooms for both of these head coaches. Hey guys, we need to clean this up because we are running into a lot of trouble. So 27.
I just now realized, I guess I'm behind.
And High Point going for the inbound. they pick it up.
because my scorekeeper on the phone that I use, the app, just popped up the halftime score. And I guess we hit a 3 here, which is cool to know. So we're bringing Terry off of a double screen. Vincent, handoff to Conrad from the top.
For 3, good with 7 seconds left. Asheville got to work quickly here. They will do so. Here comes Taylor trying to drive, puts it up at the buzzer.
So 49-34 halftime. I'm going to make sure that during this break, my stream is live because, like I said, my score app on the phone says that I'm behind. But you'll take that, I would say, from that last possession there, because there's been numerous opportunities where we haven't executed in that exact scenario. Good to see that Conrad was somebody on the positive dividend of that, because if you just rewind back to SIU, you would remember that sadly he had the ball in the last waning moments and turned it over to lead SIU into winning that game in the last second on a transition lay-in. But we'll take that. Like I said, halftime 49-34. Asheville, for me, doesn't show much of anything. Honestly, I would have liked to have seen the lead extended even beyond that. But knowing that where we had started the game with so many turnovers out of the gates, to now just have, see where we're at. I think it was 7 still. That went up one more time to 8. So 8 turnovers, but we had 6 with, like, I'd say 13 to 15 minutes left to play in this half. So we really limited that down. Rebounding, like I said, we need to have it be a one and done possession for UNC Asheville. That's not too bad at the moment. Man, I really think that from what I just watched, the score could be a lot greater than 15 and should be at the end of this game. Gonna take a little bit of a breather here myself for the stream and hit the head and do all the other fun things that you do at halftime. Hopefully people are enjoying this. If you are, shout out things on our YouTube stream, because they'll pop up on here. Otherwise, you can direct message myself, as I've received a few text messages, or just comments on at Stephen Beck PS. But we'll be back here shortly, second half in Asheville. All right. Back from halftime, or my halftime, and waiting for the game to come back from half. At least I hope my stream is back up to speed now, because at the end of the half, Conrad's 3-pointer popped up on my phone faster than it did on ESPN. So that's always fun. How quiet was Scotty Washington's 17 points in the first half? I did see him have some strong takes that he converted and a couple of 3-pointers that I remember. But man, 5 of 5 shooting, 100% from 3 and from the free throw line. That's a different Scotty Washington than what we've seen large parts of the season. Now, during the summer, that was the Scotty Washington that I know I witnessed a lot of during the practices that I watched. And I think that's why he was in the starting lineup originally as well, before we had put him coming off the bench, was because I could really tell he had worked on his shooting throughout the course of the summer and into the early fall practices. If you're not somebody that is familiar with High Point's team as much, during the summer, the amount of individual work and the amount of shots that we get up it's a lot. Honestly, it's probably a lot more than what Scotty had done at his previous stops. But he had shown, at least from what I could tell, when I went to the first practices till the start of fall, actual organized practicing, that his shooting had taken a big step. And he's already a 6'4" or whatever, 6'5" guard. So, that's going to make sure that that he is a good weapon otherwise. But then, we started the season, and I think, I don't know, first few games weren't best performances of his career. And I think Scotty would be one of the first to say that. And so we had the stretch of games, I think it was like 3 or 4, where he was coming off the bench. And really, I thought that suited him well during that stretch, where he seemed a little bit more comfortable. But then once we hit this little bit of an illness and flu bug, Scotty's back into the starting lineup. And today, man, like I said, from that first half, it's kind of a quiet 17 points. But it's good to see him coming around more and more. Otherwise, from that first half, like I said, just to kind of follow up what my main notice was, and I'm not complaining at all on this, but I feel like our play in the first half was fine. There was nothing wrong with it. It just, for me, I felt like we could have stretched that lead more. UNC Asheville, and it's more of an indictment against what they really did than anything we did wrong. The early turnovers, that's never good. But really, offensively, I'd be curious to see if they stay with the same thing here in the second half. And this first possession already looks dramatically different to me from what UNC Asheville did in that first half. And so maybe we'll just say that was some type of strategy that Coach Morrell was trying to run, because there was little movement, little ball movement, and they were waiting until under 10 seconds on the shot clock before they would really start doing anything. And that first possession there out of halftime looked a lot quicker in pace. There was sharper and crisper ball movement at that time for the Bulldogs. And, this happy crew that we have for our first Big South game they're going to call something like that all the time.
Pick up Martin here. He showed some flashes there in that first half.
Mm-hmm. Great ball handler, has good view, finds passing lanes well.
Good to see Owen back in after he had some early fouls and turnovers.
Trying to go underneath. And got number 5, Anderson, down there, able to sneak around Mayfield and get it to drop.
Mayfield did all he could, go straight up and down.
Be curious to see coming out of this half as well, when Owen needs a spell, if we get Caden first again, or if maybe they liked what they saw from Yusuf.
Gets his own rebound and gets it to go.
Good defensive job, but Taylor sticking with it, getting the offensive board.
Now High Point. All 3 on the way here from Martin, 2 strong, and the board to the Bulldogs.
That was one that was absolutely secured by Housen, but Solomon just gets a fingertip on it, pokes it out.
Good job, Braden. That's the kind of defense that we would not have seen last season. And we wouldn't have seen that from Braden, honestly, last year either. That speaks to the mobility that he's worked on, wearing weighted vests, going through the different training that they do, like I said, back in the summer. That transformed him.
Look for a shot here. Lines up. The fader throws it underneath and got number 5 there. That is Mayfield.
Mayfield does a good job of finding the open space.
Good pass. Finish it off, Owen.
Trying to spin around Mayfield, and he gets it to go.
Also good to see Owen finish things like that, because I felt like we already talked a little bit about Scotty going through a tough stretch of his season. I feel like Owen also went through a spell. Well, early, if he was within a foot to 2 feet of the basket, it was game over. I mean, he's talented right around the rim. And then he went through this spell, and that's a great look from Terry. Then Owen went through a spell where it was like
we're going to take the timeout with them. High Point out to a very strong.
I love it.
57-39, 2.5 minutes in.
I'm just watching Coach Clayman here do exactly what I would be doing if I was on that sideline, just filling the ear of these inexperienced Big South officials. But to finish up what I was saying about Owen, there was a period of time where it was like around the basket, he lost his way. It's like he couldn't finish anything. And now to see him past couple games really turn that back around, I think that's good to see him finish things just like that. At the half, Radford was leading USC Upstate. The surprise, though, for me at the half was that Gardner-Webb was beating Charleston Southern by 12. And that is, Charleston Southern just had their game where they beat Richmond leading into this and finishing off their non-conference schedule. And that was a top 100 win, I think, for Charleston Southern. And now you're going up against a 2-13 Gardner-Webb, who's done nothing but embarrass themselves, honestly, for the start of the season, and you're losing by 12. So that's great. Try to check in some other messages that are just coming through while we're looking at this. For those that are on the stream, and I appreciate anybody that's taken part, we will do a Spaces after the game, even though this is virtually like an ongoing Spaces. But hey, got sponsors, got people to take care of that way too. So we will still do a Spaces event. We'll call it. It's usually entertaining because either it doesn't work or if it does and people are able to take part and get questions in and jump in, which I always enjoy, then it's always a fun time. So take part in it, and I'm going to make sure we get that posted up. Coach Clayman still coming back from my break, and I think I'm still behind, sadly. I don't know why. But I could tell he was not happy still and won't be because Big South officiating. It's putrid.
And when he didn't get it, he's going to be as frustrated by that when he's up 20 or down 20.
All right, so there's a one and done on the shot. Moving in transition. Scotty no longer 100%, but there's Terry cleaning it up. I mean, honestly, up 20 points right now. I'm yet to see, other than the first possession of this half, UNC Asheville really do anything that remotely looks like what I've seen from their offense in years past. Right now, you got one guy. It's all one-on-one so far this game. Little ball movement, lots of standing around. I don't know. Interesting strategy.
And a nice runner and gets it to go for Rob Martin. Let's break around the defender.
Yeah, Solomon wanted to contest, but he's got 2 fouls. He doesn't need a third one this early in the second half.
That was the problem. The way to start the game is both UNC Asheville, especially, just the fouls started, unfortunately, falling.
It's a good position there by Braden.
Gets it to go. Good shot there.
It's a good shot, fade away, but help side D. That was good.
Yeah, he's one of the players that if the ball hits the bottom of the net, he's going to be a problem. He sees it once, he's like, oh, that's how it's
there you go, Owen. Nice. Should have been a foul, and it was. Like to see him pay these off at the free throw line.
And this will take us to our first media timeout. 15:49 to go in the game. 61-43, all High Point.
Let me get this posted that we are going to do a Spaces. Yeah, I really expected more, to be fair, from UNC Asheville. Also trying to keep an eye on our women's team who's playing Asheville. This one being at home, though, against their women's team. And right now, they are leading by 30 points. So both teams doing their part against the Bulldogs at the moment. Would really love to steal one on the road against Asheville because, as we've stated last season, they split home and home. And any win on the road in conference is, for me, it's like double.
Games today, and High Point looking to have the edge. They're 28-22. They have been fantastic from the floor. 21 of 30, 12 of 15 on free throws. Asheville liking to have some of those free throws back, so they're 10 and 16.
You're right. I think it's a closer match in the paint, but High Point's been excellent from 3-point. And I think Asheville just a little bit of efficiency inside the paint.
At that last time out, High Point 7 of 10 from beyond the arc.
Oh, and 1 of 2.
And that second free throw, no good for High Point, but 62-43 Bulldogs. Trying to prove they still have some fight in, still plenty of time here. They bring Taylor around in motion from the left side, driving down the middle. Can't get it to go, batted around, and still juggled. High Point going to pick it up. And here comes Brady. He'll go across the circle, down the baseline.
Good pass.
Back out on the way for 3. That's no good, and ends up in the hands of Mayfield. What a sequence that was!
I mean, there's your Big South whistle right there.
Against Brady, I think they're going to whistle him for.
His second team's second. It's a lot fewer fouls in the second half. I think both teams have figured out what's going to be required to keep the whistle quiet.
Yeah, we what they need to we don't need to be doing this or that anymore. So 15 minutes left in the game. Wright and Taylor working up top side. 10 on the shot clock though. Here comes Taylor. Nice over under move and can't get it to go. Batted around again and picked up by Wright. So another chance here for the Bulldogs. Wright trying to make a move in. Motion around his defender, not giving an inch, gets it to go, and he's going to have and one.
Wright's so strong from the point guard spot. If he can get a little bit of isolation on the floor, he can just play a little bit of bully ball, get the shot he wants. And look, he'll get the bump here, and when Brady tries to close that, brings his arms down a little bit.
I love the effort that Justin Wright has put in. He has not shown any quit as he heads to the line here. Gets it, 3-point play for UNC Asheville. Bringing in the front court, be number 3, Rob Martin back in for the Panthers. So with Hausen, Aquino back to Martin, drives around Thomas, and Thomas going to get whistled for that.
Kind of needed a foul or something there.
From Martin. Martin got Thomas
Anything offensive just to combat the past couple possessions. Couple of tough whistles on Vincent Brady. But that right there is not what we need, and that is missed free throws. Now, believe it or not, nationally, we still rank decent in that category. But I'd swear there's been games where we're somewhere around hovering 60%, 50% from free throw, and that just is, it's low. I feel like it's got to be 70 or higher for a team this talented.
Conrad, he'll hand it off Aquino, back to Conrad, trying to work over to Martin here, sends some motion down the baseline.
There's a mismatch.
It's a good pass. Great pass from Owen. Yeah, I was going to say, I was about to let loose. That was an easy foul call. That the first, they kind of just let it go. I don't know. But that was a great look from Owen. And he and Cam.
He doesn't come down. He doesn't move his space. That's unlucky for Patrick.
I mean, seeing the replay in slow-mo did make it look like a tough call, but I don't know. In real time, looked like he jumped into Cam and kind of forced him to miss that. But no, the look from Owen is where I really wanted to comment, because that is him and Cam playing off of each other.
Slowly making some inroads. It's been 1 for 2 from the free throw line in High Point's last 2 possessions.
Wright will take point, bring it into front court, trying to get some motion to the left side. Hand off to Mayfield. Now go to Taylor.
That's been their best option the whole game. Cameron Taylor's. That's their best offense right now. That's a rush shot from Vince. Bad shot. I don't know. There's two early fouls. That rush shot from Vince. I just saw Coach Clayman pull Terry off the bench. Yeah, and I would almost guarantee he's going to take Vince. And now he just got beat off the dribble. Come on, Vince. It's too easy for Taylor right now. I mean, come on. You've had two bad possessions offensively. You forced up a quick three and then almost just kind of stood around there. That was just bad basketball.
Conrad gonna look for that three, no good, and Wright with the rebound. Justin Wright really
kind of letting Nashville hang around right here. I don't know what we're doing. Two guys didn't hustle back there. Owen's man just standing under the basket for a wide open pass. Yeah, we're just playing right into the hands of a home team crowd right now. Wow.
Another foul coming up against UNC Asheville.
We'll take that friendly whistle there.
Take another look.
I don't have any good comments right now because it's just so bad both ways from these officials. No one touched him. Maybe a barely of a graze. Oh, man, just so bad officiating. Yeah, here's Morrell.
He's got a point, but that doesn't mean you need to make it that long. But
you're right.
It's so bad. It's been so bad both ways. It's just comical. I mean, this is typical, honestly. If you expect otherwise, if you haven't watched enough Big South basketball, because
next free throw, no good. The Washington Panthers do get the offensive.
He's going to call that the other way. Oh, man. See, here at home, I have no use in yelling, screaming, because these guys, it's infuriating, but they can't hear you. Now at the game inside the Cobain Center, I would have already been. And honestly, this official's so bad that Coach Morrell keeps mouthing off to right now. He's getting shown up. A veteran official in that moment, they realize that you can't let a coach show you up like that, because now you're just appeared as weak the whole time. And so they'll do a quick technical foul for that kind of stuff. But this official is scared and he doesn't know what to do. So he just stands there and he just takes it. Cameron Taylor is UNC Asheville's only choice of option or offense right this second. I mean, it's obvious. I need to look and see who we have on him defensively. I would like to think that we have Terry on him now. It was Vincent Brady, and that's where I said before, I mean, Vincent was just getting chewed up. But at this point, I would like to think we have Terry on him, and we do. So I agree with that. Cameron Taylor right now, 16 points. Believe it or not, though, Justin Wright has 15. I wouldn't have guessed that just by watching. Taylor's going to heave it.
No shot clock violation this time. 12 locked at a 12-point deficit here. High Point leading 68-56.
Yeah, so many fouls right there. There's like 5 that you could have chosen on Scotty's drive. So 12 points right now at the media, under 12 timeout. My main thing would be to comment on Cameron Taylor to start. That is good to see that we've got Terry on him, because that's who needs to be guarding him. If it's not going to be Chase, a very good defender and has received 0 minutes in this game, by the way. If it's not going to be him, then my next choice would be Terry Anderson. Now, Vince got chewed up and sped out, sadly to say, by Cameron Taylor. But I think Chase and Terry would be good matchups there. So if it's not If it's not going to be Chase, then Terry's the right guy. So we'll be watching that matchup because really that's where the offense is flowed right now. Other than that, these officials, man, I mean, I try when I do the podcast or hosting the radio show and talk about basketball. I mean, talking about officiating, it's human error, and you have that every single game. But the laughable areas for me is how bad it gets during Big South play, because you can tell that these guys are like deer in the headlights right now. They have no idea. They couldn't manage a game if their life depended on it right this second. They're blowing whistles on both ends constantly the entire game. One guy right there, I couldn't tell you which official. I mean, you might as well take a guess because these guys, I've never heard of them, but he's getting shown up, quite honestly, by Mike Morrell. Just yelled at, screamed at theatrically to the point where it was like 3 straight possessions. An experienced official would not put up with that long. They may let you get away with that one time, and they may, tell you, hey, that's enough, we're good. But 3 straight possessions, that same official basically stood there and got yelled at and chewed out over a bad call that was made to the benefit of Rob Martin, who I believe only made one of the 2 free throws. Or no, he missed it. It was an and-one opportunity. He missed the free throw anyways, but still. I don't know. That's just Big South, man. That's the officials. So sad. Sad because they play such a role in the game at how bad they are. The official, the idea of them is to be there as game managers, just kind of keep things on the tracks. If there is something going wrong, they are there to make sure that it's like, okay, we got this resolved. And instead, they're so bad that they become the story. They become the show, and that's not the way it's supposed to be. 14-point game.
We are almost halfway through the second half. Mayfield with Taylor here, who's been a catalyst in the second half, trying to get. I
also would take on the switches Braden being on Cameron Taylor, which we see this matchup right now. I think Braden is a determined defender, and what I mean by that is he's worked so hard at it. You can tell that he is active about it.
Not out of bounds, will be controlled by High Point off the partial block.
Fantastic defense from High Point. They've cut out what Asheville wanted to do. They were trying to find either Taylor or Clark open for a 3. Gets down to Wright, who have to figure it out under 6 on the shot clock.
And now High Point in control and trying to chip a little away, burn some of that time off. Got 10 to shoot. They drive toward the basket with Washington. Too strong, tipped away, and
good save by Braden right there. That's a great play. That is a hustle play. Mark that down right there. Saved it from going out of bounds, and it gets skipped over to Washington for another 3-pointer. And that wouldn't happen if Braden didn't make that play right there, and everybody just stood there and watched the ball go out of bounds. Those are the plays that excite me more than that knockdown 3-pointer and the 20 points that Scotty has, because that doesn't happen without Braden making that hustle play. And now on the defensive end, he's doing what he's got to do. I mean, that is a sign of a player that has matured, grown, boxed out right there perfectly, gets the foul. If that doesn't excite you right there, watching a sophomore player do those 3 things, just hustled to save the ball from flying out of bounds, that gets a 3-point shot for Scotty Washington and a make for our team. Then on the opposite end, he maintains good defensive position, gets the ball skipped around. On the shot, he finds his man, boxes out to perfection for the over-the-back call. I mean, those things are not in the stat sheet that we'll talk about at the end of the game. None of those things were statistical markers that you would notice. You have to be watching for stuff like that. And, man, that gets me excited more than anything else. Would love Terry to get that dude in some foul trouble. I mean, we get Cameron Taylor in some foul trouble. That'd be nice.
That's not really a mismatch. 6-7 there for Taylor.
Anderson just wanted Taylor to know he's been in the weight room this summer.
Yeah. To the announcer's point, Terry wants everybody to know something. Terry wants people to realize and respect the game that he's put together. And I have. That's for certain.
Proving why he is all 6'10".
Singri. Yusuf Singri.
With the left side. He'll bring it back out. 8 minutes to go here in this second half of regulation.
Nashville's got 2 players with 4 fouls on the floor right now.
Both Solomon and Thomas.
Good play, Rob.
Nice move here by Martin.
It's a good play.
Rebounded by number 8, DJ Patrick.
Great defense from Wright.
Go up top to Solomon. Do the bull.
I think Rob must have gotten knocked in the mouth. Right now, he's.
Pick up some help there for Patrick for 3. Good. That's what Patrick can do when he's in the game. Foul limited. Still playing with 4 fouls.
We don't know Patrick today because he's had so many fouls, but apparently he's their 3-shooter. I don't know DJ Patrick that much. He's got 9 points. Looked like Rob may have gotten hit in the mouth right there. Not that seems like it's going to be anything that big of a deal. Let's see. Right now, those turnovers that I talked about a lot, haven't had one this half. So that's really good. Rebounding wise, still holding our own in that department. Pretty much this half been mostly a dead heat now. Like I said, Solomon's got 4 fouls, so you'd love to foul him out just to make him a non-issue. DJ Patrick, who just hit that 3, also has 4 fouls. So both of them, if they are defending you, the goal should be to go downhill on those 2 and try to draw contact just to go ahead and eliminate that as even a possibility. But Cameron Taylor, without a doubt, has been the story for the Bulldogs, but he's on 6 of 17 shooting. That's the thing. I mean, I'd rather have somebody not shoot as much with less points, but more efficiently than throwing everything up at the rim and walking away with more points. That's just me personally. So far, I'll tell you my player of this half, and I don't think if you've been with us here on the stream, that's much question and doubt, but that's Braden. Just from that little stretch of play that he had. None of that'll show up in the stat column, but that was big time. We need guys willing to hustle and make those plays because you're going to have people on any given night between Scotty and Cam and Owen and Terry and Rob and, whoever else that you want to name, Conrad, that's going to get the points. They're going to fill things up. But who else is doing the other things that go unnoticed? And that was big time stuff from Braden in a possession or 2 there. Otherwise, Terry is having himself another solid game. Of course, Scotty Washington is our story just because of how efficient. Again, he's done it 8 of 11 shooting. He's got 26 points. It's not like the Cam Taylor 6 of 17 shooting. Now, here's a turnover by Vince Brady. Vincent is not having a good half. I'm going to tell you that right now. I don't know a good way to put it. I like Vincent Brady, don't get me wrong, but this half has not been his half.
High Point trying to pick up a win on the road, Matt, trying to go for their 6th straight road win
in conference play.
Good play, Owen.
Season, they stumbled to Longwood on the road.
Kind of came down funny there, though.
25 February.
So right now, it looks like Solomon and Jackson are not on the floor. So they took out the 2 that had 4 fouls. So now, like I was talking about, you got to laser in on Cameron Taylor. Of course, he draws a foul here. The ball is swung to him. I guess Jackson is in there. He's still in there. I'm sorry. Solomon is out. Jackson is still in with 4 fouls.
this one. Initially, great defense. It's a fun High Point team to watch. Really defensively sound. They forced a couple of 30-second shot clock violations. They get in hands into dangerous positions.
They're talking about our defense right now on the broadcast. The only thing I haven't seen from us today would be the forced turnovers and steals that we normally have showcased. Only 2 steals today, and UNC Asheville only has 6 turnovers. So that part of it I'd like to see.
The 1-2-2 zone defense look from UNC Asheville. Housen smart. Would have been well within his right to take that 3. Had no rebounders. Thought the time in the possession was more important. Smart team.
5 to shoot here. Conrad gets past one defender.
Good pass.
Handoff blocked, and
It was a good pass by Conrad there to dish it off. Could have taken the shot, but it was a good pass as well.
5 on Thomas, and yeah, he was when we mentioned that both he and Solomon were out there, and
So now's the stretch where we really start back on, can we make free throws or not to close games. Remember, App State would have been a closed game if we would have made the free throws. Can we close this game? Right now, 73% from the free throw line. Vincent hits his first, so that's good.
Second free throw good from Brady, who went to the line. Approaching 6 minutes to go here in the game.
So we put on, this is very smart coaching, put on just a little simple pressure just to make sure that UNC Asheville is keeping it honest and taking that additional time, bringing the ball up the floor. I mean, we're up by 19. All it is just a matter of time game at this point. But I'll tell you what, Vincent Brady can't stay with Cameron Taylor. I mean, it's not happening this half for him. That's going to count as a steal for Vince, which I appreciate there because Taylor got in some trouble, but that was after Taylor blew by him the first time.
We want this possession. We want a good bucket, but we want it deeper in the shot clock. Let's take some of the legs out of this game.
And they are doing exactly that. Not a lot of motion until they get down to 10. Now they start.
There's Braden.
Martin to Housen for 3.
It's such a good shot, though. I mean, we did what we needed to do there. He flared out off of that screen. Nobody went with him. Just an unfortunate miss. Yeah, Cameron Taylor is eating Vince Brady for lunch, dinner, and New Year's Eve snack right now. And I wish it wasn't that way. I like I said, I'm not against Vincent Brady. It seems that way on the second half of this stream, but you got to realize Cameron Taylor is their offensive option. And if you can't stay with him, then it's got to be somebody else. Well, right now, Terry is not in the game. That's who kind of has kept him at bay. I think you got to switch Braden over to Cameron Taylor as the first option. Oh, me.
Almost 4 minutes to go.
Martinez is so fast when he's on the ball.
So here's another opportunity. Vince with Cameron Taylor can't do it. Cameron Taylor goes right to the basket. I said intelligent coaching to put the little pressure on right now. And I love our staff, but you've got to wake up and see that matchup isn't the one. And you would immediately go and say, okay, that's Coach Clayman, right? No, he's not the one that comes up with the matchups. Thank you, Braden, for knocking that 3 down to at least make this respectable here. It's not Coach Clayman that's doing those defensive matchups. But right now, Vincent Brady cannot stay with Cameron Taylor. It's just a step and a half, 2 steps slow. He can't maintain position with him. I don't know why UNC Asheville isn't just going right back to him. That time is Justin Wright who took the shot. Really, honestly, foolish because Cameron Taylor's had his way with our defense the last 3 possessions.
I don't know why it's one of my favorite things, but it's one of my favorite things.
It's different. It's not something you usually see. So 3 minutes to go here in the game. Wide open. Look for three.
Wow.
In and out. And
Wow.
in it goes.
Banked in three-pointer Rob Martin. Bank. We had a wedgie and now a banked three in this game. What's up? Where are you going? Oh, I love you. Have fun. Leaving before the game's over, huh?
Yeah.
Okay.
Mom wants to go.
Okay.
But do you think they're gonna win?
Yes.
Remember when they were at like 120 something, and the other team was like at 60? That was funny.
I love you. I didn't get to see that foul, close or not, if that was really a good call on Braden there. It was a dumb to even give the officials that type of opportunity right there. I don't know. I don't know. The only thing I could really say that I'm most disappointed in at this moment is, and this is fast, it's in game, but somebody on that staff, I feel like should see, okay, Cameron Taylor's been the option. Terry's not in. I understand. Terry is probably the best matchup that we have. If it's not Chase, it's Terry. That's what I say. Chase hasn't had any minutes in this game. It's just hasn't happened. So if Terry's not in the game and the options leave us with really for that player, that position, if it's between Braden and Vince and Conrad, I'm going to say that Vince has just gotten blown by 3 or 4 times there. It happened. We all watched it. You got to be on that bench saying, okay, defensively, that ain't the matchup right now. You got to switch that up. 8 of 19 shooting for Taylor with 21 points, and Scotty remains to be our leading scorer with 26. Too many turnovers, but just 2 this half. But still, I'd like to think that on most nights we're going to stay under 10 right now, right there at that mark. Rebounding, still holding our own there. A foolish foul there at the end. I'm not sure. Now, interesting as well, why Cam may not be in the game. I find that a little interesting, but
you're on the road, you're historically, one of your rivals historically, and you come out with a performance that's just brilliant.
He's still 3 off of his season high total against Cal Poly, so he could still reach that if he comes back in at any point. That one will in and out, no good for Martin. Now right, back the other way for the Bulldogs with 2 minutes
I don't have my
left
keys.
to go.
They're down there.
Such a good job of stopping the ball.
If they do that, but Wright able to slip by him there in the paint and pick up another Bulldog bucket.
A bit unlucky for High Point because Wright did exactly what Martin was playing. He's like, you're not going to take the center of the floor back. You're going to be on this side of the floor. And Wright said, yeah, okay.
I'll take that.
Right to the basket then.
So it's it. Now High Point just trying to dribble out that clock. Conrad's got it. Go over to Housen. 10 to shoot. There's Housen. Open lane down the middle. Trying to kick it out and flings it up. No good. Got his own rebound and just put it back.
Listen. Keeping his feet going straight up and down. Housen was.
I didn't know you could pass it to yourself. I guess they're calling that a shot.
Very sneaky.
That's Braden, though. That's a heady play. I mean, he just flipped it up to himself.
87-68. That one in and out, no good. Offensive board to the Bulldogs, right? Thinking about 3, pulls it back. And trying to drive for it, and will pick up a foul, trying to make the play.
Under a minute left. Asheville's just trying to fight for a little bit of pride, a little momentum going into the rest of the season.
Here's that last shot. From
Yeah,
Look at this.
I mean, I guess that is a shot,
It's a little bit of a
but
Valentino.
I really didn't think you could even.
Give credit where credit's due on that one. That
I don't know.
was a little bit crazy.
If you counted a shot and you follow up your own missed shot, I guess you can. But
Give it to him. Heck of a play. I'm giving him the assist. 2 points and the assist. Oh, the official scorer just mean mugged me and said no, so maybe we won't do that.
45 seconds to go. 20 seconds between the two clocks. 87-69 for High Point. They're going to take their
dribbling out the win here. I mean, we are going to have spaces. Game's over. 87-69 is the final score. If you've been with us, I'm going to go take a break for a minute or two here in about 20 minutes or so. I don't know, something. We're going to pop on. We'll do some spaces. But all in all, man, you'll take that win. I don't know about everything I saw, but I love that we showed out on a game that honestly I had concerns over going in, and happy that Scotty came around. I mean, there's lots of stuff to look at this. A couple of things, like I said, that I don't love. But again, when it's a win, you don't have to nitpick those as much. So we'll take a break. We'll be back on Live Spaces coming up here on